Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Caught me disabling the sound on my other device here because I didn't want an echo. But if it's your first time here, my name is Angel Chestnut. I'm a pro photographer, cinematographer, pro PR pro, and professional life coach. We are Angel Chestnut Studio, my multi-passionate brand where I show creative women how to live a life with more joy and less stress. In today's episode, we're going to get into the 21 top travel tips for female solo travelers. It is not an exhaustive list, but these are things that have utilized in my last year of strictly solo traveling all over the world. So without further ado, let's get into it. But I want to give you a quick little disclaimer. Any links that you see that I mention or any products that I mention, I left my thing on because it's all about whimsy, and this is what you get in the day. I got my little t-shirt here. I got a lift up here for my paper muses. It's going to be in my shop soon. So if this is something that appeals to you, hop on over there and check it out. Also, if you like the content in this video, don't forget to go ahead and click the like button and help us out with the algorithm because it shows the algorithm that you like what we have going on and you want to see more of it. And it also presents it to other people who may like the content as well. If you're not already following me, hop on over to LinkedIn at Angel-Chestnut and Instagram at Angel Chestnut Studio. Now, like I said, let's get on into these tips. And again, I want to remind you guys that it's not an exhaustive list, but it is a list that I really have found that's tried and true. Great. I don't want y'all to see my desktop. You don't want all your loved ones all up in your business knowing where you are. Why am I blurry? I don't like this. It is always something when I go live. I swear it is always something when I go live. I have no way. Wait a second. Let me add back to the tab. It's blurry, y'all. I'm super annoyed right now. Whew, I tried to do something new and show the screen and it jacked me up. Let me try it again. Let me close this. I don't want y'all seeing my messy desktop, which is why am I blurry? I'm gonna have to switch cameras because this is not doing it for me at all. 1 second. And it's covered, of course. And I'm leaving it right up. I do not know why I am blurred. I do not know why I'm blurred. But this is what I get for trying to be fancy. Let me just leave it here for now. Maybe it'll come back into a view here. But anyway. And now you wanted it for something. Go back to the same slide. Yeah, stay connected and keep your loved ones informed. I use a location. I share my location with 5 other people. And so anytime they know where I am, I check in. I make sure they can see it because it is a satellite-based situation. And if you have bad coverage, they may not know. Let people know where you are, your hotel accommodations, the number, the website, and a point of contact, and the room you're staying in. Give them your details. Next is pack light and pack versatile clothing and essential items only. Now, I am not that girl that's going to pack 7 pairs of underwear for a month long trip. I'm going to have all of my essentials, unmentionable, and toiletries. I'm going to have my clothing be interchangeable. Always have an outer garment that's going to keep you cool when the weather changes. For instance, I did a trip up to Montserrat out of Barcelona. The temperature was a typical winter day in the 50s and 60s. Up there was down in the 30s and the 40s. So I had earmuffs. I didn't have a heavier jacket, but I did have a shawl that kind of doubled as a blanket. So it kept me a little bit warm, and I had gloves because you needed it. It was a little bit windy up there. So if you know you're going to a higher altitude, dress for that, and then know that down below it may be a significant temperature change and dress for that. For instance, I love this. I have worn this hat out. You hear me? I have worn it out. This I bought over in Korea. And what I love about it is it's lightweight and it has this part to protect my back. I cannot tell you how many people are like, oh my God, your hat is bomb. Yes, I absolutely loved it. Love it. I've worn it out and I use it for exercising now. The next thing I had were these oversized shades because when that sun is beating down on you, it really does help to have that full coverage on your glasses. And also, I was in Portugal, I was on a trip, and the husband of this wife, daughter, husband team was like, I should have thought of that. I had my umbrella because let me tell you, they use Celsius over there. It was like 40 degrees Celsius, which is well over 100 degrees. And we were on the water, so it's a little bit humid, but this definitely helps. And this is a must. You must have your water. So when you're packing and you're packing lightly, think of the essentials also and make room for those. Next, listen, learn the basic phrases. So show that respect and reverence to the local culture, even if you are not the best at pronunciations. I have found, except for in Barcelona with a little passive aggressive nonsense, most countries in France, Paris, I don't love French that much to be mastering it, but I do try to speak basic phrases. And for the most part, I have gotten very good reception. I can say that when you talk about France, the south of France is a totally different animal. Loved it. Everywhere else. Anyway, I've just found that it really does help. And especially in countries like Japan and Korea, they really bend over backwards to help you if you are. They're helpful anyway, but they really appreciate the fact that you're trying to learn the local cultures. When I was where was I? I was, I believe, in either Seville, Barcelona, or Madrid. I believe it was Barcelona. I was in the bus station and I was just eating lunch. I had already done the trip and I was eating lunch, and this man walked up to me speaking full Spanish. And I am rusty. I was pretty decent when I was speaking it regularly, but I'm rusty, so I broke out the Google Translate I can pick up. He was trying to get on the internet, and I was helping him, and we did it. We got through it. He was so happy. He was like, "I love you." I was like, "Thank you," and he was just went on his way because he was trying to connect, but he wasn't understanding. He needed to go on his email and confirm before they would let him connect onto the network. And so with basic phrases, Google Translate, I was able to help him and he appreciated it. Next, okay, stay in safe accommodations. I'm a budget traveler, but I'm not that much of a budget traveler. I stick to hotels and Airbnbs, and I really do my research on them. I have not done hostels, but if I were to do it, I would definitely choose the private option, just because I'm in some spaces where I've just heard some less than desirable results of that. So I'm going to stick to that situation, and I typically will book so I can have the whole place to myself especially when I'm international. So stick with safe accommodations and get on Google Maps and see what's around, because you don't want to be the island of safety, but you're surrounded by a bunch of foolishness. Case in point is Atlantic City. You don't want to veer in Las Vegas. You don't want to be veering too far off of that strip, because you may find yourself in situations you don't want to be in. So book and save accommodations, do your research, and don't always go for the deal. Sometimes paying a little bit more is worth it. Next up, I want to go into the next tip, and that is follow your instincts. If something feels off, follow your instincts, and then remove yourself from the situation and don't doubt yourself, because your spidey senses will tell you when something is off. I'm very happy. I don't have a whole lot of those situations where I have had to remove myself from unsafe situations. But I'm telling you, I will be out of there. I don't. I just don't play. When I get that bad feeling, goodbye. Secondly, know that the, and I hate to say that, hotel safes, I believe they're just for decor only. They can get in those safes. So I typically would just not bring anything that I'm not prepared to totally be without, if I can help it. Some things I like my cell phone. I like my good cameras and I like my good camera lenses. But I would typically keep them on my body. But if you got to lock up copies, especially when it comes to your passport. I hear people all the time, oh, I lock my passport in the safe and I bring the copies with me. Bring your passport with you and put the copies in the safe. So in the event that original is taken, you have the copies available. And I put copies in my locked luggage. Again, nothing is safe. If they want to get in, they're going to get in it. But at least you have set yourself up where you have multiple copies of important documents and your credit cards. That's going to assist you in getting them replaced. And in certain countries, certain companies will FedEx you an emergency copy of your credit cards and things like that. So, and then also know just how to get in touch with law enforcement. I have friends who were pickpocketed over in Italy, and a lot of times when you don't follow up, your items have been found. Like especially if you got a really expensive purse, they don't even care about the purse. They just want what's in it. So make sure you find out what the customs and courtesies are in those situations and double back. Number 8 is use reliable transportation and opt for trusted cabs. So for instance, do your research and find out what the known cab companies are and what their markings are. And I will tell you for a fact, in Korea, I haven't taken a cab in Japan. So in Korea and all throughout Europe, the drivers have their credentials posted so you can see who they are, you can see the pictures, you can see everything. They have to have it publicly posted. And also in Lisbon, Uber does work over there and the prices are very reasonable. So if you just want to stick to something that you know, Uber is over in Portugal, in Lisbon for a fact. And also an alternative that I have found, she still emails me, Rosa from Bolt. Bolt is very good. I used Bolt throughout Spain, and 20% off for my first 10 rides. When that dollar is converting to the euro, it makes a difference. And I always pay in local currency. So remember, use reputable transportation to get from point A to point B. And that goes for when you're doing these tours too. If you have tour companies, research them. National and international tour companies really help ease my mind, and I'm able to with ease travel. I did my last day in Lisbon. I did a Fado dinner, and it was all women, and we were all solo travelers. It was a small group of us, and the bus dropped me right off in front of the hotel because I really didn't want to walk or catch a cab at night. I just wanted to get on, do my event. And we did a city tour. We actually saw the city at night, and it was beautiful. So do look for those type of options for yourself when you're traveling. Tip number 9, I cannot stress this enough. I have had fellow travelers that I didn't know. They travel to places where it is more a conservative dress, and then they just wanted to dress how they dress in their native country. And then they were uncomfortable with the amount of attention that they had. They felt uncomfortable. They felt unsafe. I don't know if that contributed to what they were feeling, but I know that if you do not blend in or make an attempt, you do make yourself stand out. And sometimes it's not in a good way. So think about that when you're traveling places. Find out what the social norms for dress, and just do your best to try and not make yourself a mark. Because for the most part, they will leave you. People will just let you be. So yeah, don't call attention to yourselves. I really do think that's going to help you enjoy a more authentic experience as well. And tip 10, it goes without saying, especially as a solo female solo traveler, stay sober and on point and aware of your surroundings. It's just the world we live in, and you need to keep your head on swivel, and it helps when you are. This is the drink of choice. This and cafe latte, honey. I just believe in it. You just have to. It just helps you stay on point and staying aware of what's going on. Tip 11. Now, if you're not traveling internationally, I did not know this. I may have to partake in this. Personal safety devices. I recommend the whistle. If you want to have mace or pepper spray, don't take it internationally because just about every country bans it, and you will get locked up at the airport. Don't do it. But if you are USA, TSA allows you to pack pepper spray in your packed luggage at a certain amount of ounces, and you have to have a safety device on to keep it from exploding and possibly injuring back channelers and things like that. I am not going to do that, but if you are inclined, research what the rules are, the dimensions, and all of that, and save yourself the hassle because you can be locked up and or fined. Next, when you have your accommodations, again, do Google Earth. Find out the lighting situation. It is nothing more creepy than getting a place and it's in a place that's not well lit. And if you would have done some research on like Travel Advisor and places like that, you'll find out that it is a sketch area. Find out where your places are and stick to well-populated, well-lit areas if you're out at night. I found that in Spain pretty much all the way up to like 2 in the morning. People are hustling and bustling, especially around the main city fair. And over in France, the party was still popping 2-3 o'clock in the morning during the week down there in Cannes. So then our accommodations was our friends and my travel mate, Alicia. And there were cafes up and down the street, and I would say it was either Tuesday or Thursday night, it was popping well into 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Over in Spain, they go late, so restaurants are open to about 1-2 o'clock in the morning as well. So if you're in those situations, make sure it's well lit and well traveled, and you'll be fine. But I did that, but I stuck close to the accommodations where I would see families and kids and couples and things like that. So that's just me. This next one, tip number 13, is travel in groups. So again, it kind of sounds you got the antithesis of solo travel, but as a female solo traveler, it's okay to hop on a group and do an event. I did it throughout my entire solo travel experiences last year. I'm going to continue to do that. You've got Airbnb experiences. You've got city tour. I think it's city tours, and you've got the tour bus companies, Big Bus Tour, the Gray Lines, and things like that. They are group activities where you can do. You're not standing out as a solo traveler, and it makes for a fun experience. Connect with other. It lets you connect with other solo travelers and link up with groups of like in common interests. And so I'm going to be doing more of that. Did y'all just see this thing just flip like that? What the what? This shit has been going on and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. That was weird. One of the travel groups that I have, that's the one I'm mostly in, and that's on Facebook, and it's the Female Traveler Network. I've got some really good gems, and I've passed some information in there. So join groups as well, which will allow you to build community with other fellow female solo travelers, and also have a travel companion when you may have had somebody drop out of the trip, or you just decided, you know what, I really want to have somebody else with me. Do that, and I think you're going to have a wonderful experience. Tip number 14, have a backup plan and know what to do when things go wrong. I alluded to it. First thing you need to do, if you're an American, register on the State Department's website, the step.gov. I don't have the link. I didn't have time to do the banners. Google it. Register with that. You're going to get alerts. You're signing yourself up for alerts in case there are some kind of events out of your control. Let's say protests. It can be a terrorist imminent attack. Whatever it is, you want to be in the know. And then you also want to really practice how to dial that number. I cannot stress that. I will usually go to the hotel lobby and do it from their desk. What do I need to dial out? knowing those procedures and then doing it on the phone because you're calling from a US carrier, you need to do it the 011 dash country code, city, local, county code, and then city code. Find out what that procedure is. You don't want to be in distress trying to figure that stuff out. Trust me on that. Also, what do you do if someone gets sick? This is another recommendation I make. Every time you travel, have travel insurance, whether it's domestically or locally. Do your research. I used Faye throughout all of last year, and they covered things like illnesses. And one of the big things, and I believe I covered this in another video, make sure that if you fall ill, let's say it's COVID-19, and you have to be medically evacuated, that is in your insurance plan. I have seen too many GoFundMes where somebody was on a cruise and someone got sick and they had to be evacuated off of the cruise, hospitalized locally, and now they're trying to get back home because they're incapacitated and that was not part of their travel plan. Make sure that is in your plan and make sure you have about $100,000 of coverage. It's going to really go a long way. People have shared in this travel group I'm in that they have fallen. If you are in Portugal, let me tell you something. Those steeps, I have a picture. You can kind of see this picture right here. It is steep. And that's a mild grade. It's also slippery. You lose your footing. Lady fell, broke her leg, and had to be medically evacuated out. Her bill was like $60-something thousand. Insurance covered it, no problem. She got home. Her son, another traveler's son, got injured doing some recreational event, had to have surgery, and the insurance covered it. And you don't want to be in the situation to find out you're not covered. So spend the extra money. It can be anywhere from $150 to, depending on the length of your trip, most of these insurances are a percentage of your trip cost. So it's money well spent. If you don't use it, you don't use it. I'm not counting on credit cards and my current healthcare. I'm military. I'm not under the worldwide plan. I'm under a specific regional plan. So I always have additional insurance when I travel. Tip number 15 is use a money belt, fanny pack, call it what you want. But the way that they're making them now, these crossbodies, they're really good and they're making them anti-theft, so it's hard to cut them. Bottom line, if somebody really wants your stuff, they're going to take it. But why not? Why set them up for just getting a hold of your hard-earned if you don't have to? So definitely have you one of those. Definitely don't be hanging your stuff on the back of chairs. We all do it, but don't, because you may work hard, but people who are looking to score a quick opportunity work harder, and you just want to really keep your personal things secured. I always have a copy of my passport folded up very nicely, tucked away, because my fanny pack has a little extra slot. But if you have those nice Bagolini ones, they are all over the place. Money well spent. Go ahead and use them, and you can be very discreet, especially if you wear like a cardigan or a blazer. This picture just brings me so much joy. I am a paper muse, and I was so happy to finally get into this store. I spent like about an hour in there, and it was just wonderful. So tip number 16, stay hydrated. Listen, part of any good travel safety plan is making sure you take care of your health. And when you are traveling and you're not accustomed to all of the physical exertion, Japan will humble you. You will average anywhere from 20 to 25,000 steps a day just for no reason. Ditto for Korea. There are lots of steps. And I didn't travel in the thick of summer because I know better. I was stationed in Japan, but it gets hot over there. The temperature is not really reflecting how hot it feels. I don't know what it is, but it hit different over there. I get sunburned in both Korea and Japan. It is something about, and I have sunscreen on. And my nose rubbed off because I was wearing a mask. Hydration. These are filtered by Brita. They're really small and discreet. They last about a month. And typically throughout countries like Japan and Europe, you can find hydration stations. But if you just want the extra layer of filtration, get you one of these. And also any salt tablets, because a lot of times you're sweating and you're losing metabolites. Not metabolites, electrolytes. So, case in point, I was in Rhoda. It's something about that sun over there. The desk clerk told me, oh, you do not want to be walking I just did 3 weeks in Europe and it just got progressively hot by the time I reached Rhodes. So it was over a 3 week period. So I felt like I was acclimatized. That heat almost took me out. I'm pretty sure I had heat exhaustion. And I left with a full water bottle trying to find the Rec IT office. And I was nursing the last little bit by the time I finally made it there because I couldn't find it. Biggest mistake ever. So I would have passed out if I didn't have my water with me. So make sure you have water. Make sure you have a wide brim hat, wind sunscreen, and I had all of this, and I was still jacked up. So I'm telling you, I can't emphasize this enough: hydration. Okay. Tip number 17, this helped me a lot too. Along with my juice pack is downloading offline maps because you may not have a signal. And then Wi-Fi, I use NordVPN to scramble my signal. Again, nothing is 100% foolproof, but it gives me peace of mind to know that when I'm using public Wi-Fi, I have some safety tips in a minute. Offline maps really help me. They are my friend. The Maps app in Apple does allow you to do that. And I'm sure if you have an Android device, same thing. Offline maps, okay? I touched on number 18, and that is know the emergency numbers. I always ask the front desk concierge, what are the emergency numbers? I've already looked it up online, but I want to know, and then I do the number. Because trust but verify. Because again, you don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to fiddle and fumble and figure out how to call for help when you need it. So, what did I say? Oh yeah, know the emergency numbers and have your emergency contacts in your phone ready to go in case someone needs to get a hold of them. Okay, I have my son labeled as son. Have them labeled by the title, because sometimes you might fall out and somebody gets your phone. At least they're going to look for your immediate nuclear family first as a point of contact. That's just an instinctual thing. So if nothing more, have your contacts labeled as the role they are in your life. So if in the event you are incapacitated, you cannot speak for yourself. Someone can reach out and get a hold of the loved ones to let them know what's going on with you, especially if you're out of the country. Tip number 19. I believe in this so much as a running joke with my small circle of friends and family. Not only do they not know what state I'm in, they don't know what country I'm in half of the time. Literally, the first text, if I've been out of touch with someone for a few weeks, where in the world are you? Like literally, where in the world are you? Because when I am posting to social media, by the time I upload, I have already moved on to the next place. I am just getting around to talking about in videos and in blog posts extensively about where I went all of last year. So be cautious with social media and avoid posting your exact location in real time. You can share your experiences after you've left the place. And if you're going to share, I use an app called the Journey Blog. I don't have the banners done, y'all, but it's a blog I've been using for like 6 years, and I do it in real time in my phone, and I have only a small core group of my friends who follow along with me on it. I do not post to any Zuckerberg, no Meta, none of that. I'm in that blog, which is a running blog, and they get the details. You can post up to 10 images per post, and as much as you want all day. And I just bring people along for the journey, and I leave it at that. I do not post in real time. I cannot emphasize that enough. I see people doing it, and I'm like, okay. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's your PSA for the day. As a female solo traveler, we don't have the option of being that free. It's not the world we live in. Number 20, learn self-defense. Just basic self-defense. I don't like people touching me. I don't like doing this type of training, but I really think that basic self-defense stance will go a long way. And if you do nothing more but learn how to really scan and be situationally aware in your surroundings, you have gone a long way in protecting yourself. Because I see people on their phones, they're crossing the street and not looking. They have their purses hanging on the back of their chairs at cafes, and they're all in their phone and in their laptops or whatever. If you do nothing more but have your purse on your lap, take a good scan of where you are every like 5 minutes or so. Just be situationally aware, know where the exits are. You've gone a long way in making sure that you are setting yourself up for success if you need to make a hasty retreat. Lastly, tip number 21, which closes out our list, and this was a long video. I am so sorry. Enjoy the journey. Really embrace the experience, and I cannot emphasize enough, immerse yourself in a local culture, even if it's another city. Like I really am fond of outdoor and people who like to run and bike and jog and walk their dogs and sit near water. And if you embark on those things and kind of feel like locals, it really does enhance the experience, and it gives you some fine memories and brings you little respites and pieces of joy that may be a little bit off the beaten path from the herd of, especially when you're overseas, or the herd of travelers. It just gives you like that little oasis. And with that, that closes out our list. I'm going to close out this, so give me a second. And I'm going to make you smaller. This makeup is makeuping. Make it a little smaller. And we're going to do a little housekeeping here. I'm going to show you. Excuse the pause here. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot this. So, right on cue, life be lifing. And a few days ago, so I'm on an extended trip right here. Those who know me know the details. I was minding my own business. I had did a cafe journaling and indulging in a little whimsy. And I was prepping for this week with my content. And the bus was taking too long. And speaking of buses, back up a little bit. One thing I want to say, when I start talking about reputable transportation, if you don't want to take cabs or ride shares, everywhere I've gone, I love public transportation. When I went home to Philly, this is a separate car, man. We used to have a TransPass. It was a little TransPass. This is in Barcelona. You can reload this. Their transit system is amazing. Remember, the Olympics were there back in 1992, and they still have some relics of that. So travel around. This is an Oyster card from London. Tap and go. That way you're not fumbling around with your actual bank card. You load the money on here and go. This one of these is Madrid, and this is Barcelona. I think, this is Madrid, and this is Barcelona. And typically, this is a 10 tripper. I almost threw this away, not realizing what the heck it was. This is a 10 tripper. Hold on. Okay. So I still have trips left on here. And full disclosure, summertime, I was not feeling, I could not get my brain straight. I kept getting lost. But in holiday season, I was rolling with the people. It was wonderful. So don't sleep on those. And I think that costs like $11 instead of paying 20 something for cab rides and stuff. Mother is on a budget. So this was much, much closer to what is comfortable for me as far as transportation. Now, again, was cafe, did the Whole Foods run, decided to grab a ride share and getting out, and I didn't let him put everything in the trunk. I just had it with me. Me reaching over, getting my bag, my phone must have came out. I didn't know. I got in the house. I'm looking for my phone. Within 10 minutes, I was on that Find Me app. I was figuring out how to call him on this thing. And my iPad got back through. It was Lyft. Let them know I lost an item. They are not obligated to return your item. Nobody's obligated for nothing. So you need to be prepared for you losing something forever. But I was like, no, I want my damn phone back. So I contacted him. He had already been home. So I said, so this location I'm seeing my phone at, this is not your house. He says, no, it's where I dropped off the last two people. And he offered to pick me back up. He didn't have to. And I was like, no problem. Because I was in the middle of calling another ride I just needed to know that it wasn't him. Of course, the hotel had no impact, no idea. So we knew it was a couple. And I said, I'm calling the cops. I called the police. The police came within 5 minutes of me getting there because, of course, the desk clerk wasn't really trying to help. It was that type of hotel where it was seedy. I don't care. I wanted my phone back. I did have my tripod handy if needed. I was getting my phone back. I was prepared to not get it back, but I knew I wanted to exhaust all means of getting my phone back. And I was steady hitting the signal for it to play lost mode. So I put it in lost mode immediately. And I will have a video that's going to break down all the steps that I took to get the phone back. So within 1 hour and 35-minute time frame, the police officer was on foot. He knew who had it. He retrieved my phone and he brought it back, minus my case. So if you want to see the details, I do have a blog post up on my website. 1 second, I'll take you guys over there. Go on over to my blog. And it's the latest. It's not today's post, but the other post. I have a lot of good content, and it's going along with my travel follies, giving you tools, tips, and techniques to unlock your inner whimsy, enjoy yourself on your trips, whether you're traveling or alone or with a group. We're over at angelchestnut.com, and if you want to check out our services, you can do that. I am really ramping up my offerings. Sis has a job right now, so I don't have time that I used to have. So I'm going to push a lot of the stuff I wanted to do in the fourth quarter into the first quarter of 2025, but I will tell you all about it. Just subscribe to our newsletter. I promise y'all it's coming. I got this rhythm going. I'm getting 3 posts out a week, plus coming live to y'all. Hot mess and all. You want to get it straight on Chaser. I'm leaving these bloopers in here. I'm not editing. You're going along the ride with me as I get better and get more efficient at giving you content that you can use to live a life of, and inspire you to live a life of more joy and less stress. And if you are my military travelers, I am going to be doing a military space a terminal roundup, and I'm also and I actually taped all this, but I just didn't like my bed being in the background, and that's why I never published it. And also a accommodations roundup for all the Airbnbs I stayed at and all of the Hilton hotels I stayed at. So it's coming, y'all, I promise. And my passion project. So why would you signing up to be part of our paywall, which I don't have set up yet? Why would it make any sense for you to do that? Because you're going to get exclusive content. I am not one to like stalkers or lurkers and looky-loos. I had to take this YouTube down and take my website private about a month ago because someone, after years of trying to get in touch with me, was not catching the hint, and I had to do a cease and desist. They know I don't play. I don't know why you are playing with me. This is my business. I'm trying to establish know, like, and trust so I can have future clients and future customers to go on my website and do that thing right here called shopping. This is not for you to be using it as blackplanet.com and eHarmony. No, get off my website. Get off my website. And if you're going to hang out on my website for the time that you like to hang out on my website, I'm my own webmaster and I can see you, buy some. Okay? Buy something. So exclusive content, goodies in your inbox, goodies in the mail. I love Happy Mail. I'm an analog girl in the digital world. I love Happy Mail. It's something about having something in your hand you can touch. My fellow paper muses, the camera angle is just not showing it. And I'm testing out this design. I meant to have the one with the white font, and this one I didn't pay attention, and I have multiple versions of the shirt. And it printed this, but is she not the cutest thing? Oh, it is the diary of the paper muse. Ooh, sorry, y'all. I'm going to have all kinds of content exclusively to that. And then, so that's for my crafty creators. And for my Gen X salon, this is for my grown-ass women who have something to say. We are launching into this. I will be launching this in next quarter. And it's going to be a series called Tell the Truth Thursday. So I'm debating whether or not to put all of that behind the paywall and the membership, or just kind of give you a sample in the newsletter. So you need to sign up. And that topic that I just talked about is being a female entrepreneur and dealing with people who are always trying to spam. Like, I'm trying to generate customers and clients. Would you do this to a dude? Get out of my inbox. We're going to talk about that because I'm at the point where now I'm not going to engage with you. I'm going to have law enforcement engage with you and have you explain yourself because it's getting on my nerve. If this is something that resonates with you, go ahead and go on our website. There's multiple ways you can sign up for the newsletter. But specifically, if you have specific questions about coaching, about how to live a life of more joy and less stress, the get in touch form. Now, I will tell y'all, Google did an update about a week ago, and I thought I fixed it in the back end, and it's still not fixed. I'm getting notifications a week and a half later that an attempted sign up has happened, and it's not linked to my storage when I know I reconnected it. So maybe I didn't reconnect all the forms throughout my pages on my website. So I'm going to have to do another. I've done like 3 or 4 audits, but I keep missing them because I keep getting, it looks like it works when I do it in a test mode. And then I'm getting a notification on a delayed basis that it did not work. So just bear with me. If anything, you see an email icon on my website, just click on that and shoot me an email and let me know, hey, I tried to sign up for your newsletter and it didn't work. Because if you don't tell me, I don't know. Okay. Let me leave that there because I really want y'all to sign up for our newsletter. I've really gotten into a rhythm and getting this information out to y'all, and I really think that it's going to be very useful for you and help you have very enjoyable trips, whether it be solo or with a group. I'm just really talking to my solo travelers right now. So we went over 21 plus tips for female solo travelers that everyone could use and make their next travel adventure safe, enjoyable, and unforgettable. Visit our website for more resources, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment on what other content you would like to see. And in my rambling with my phone. So I found out the phone was lost, contacted rideshare, contacted the hotel, got there at the hotel, verified the phone was still pinging 150 feet away from me. Law enforcement came on site about 5 minutes later. I could show him on the map where my phone was. He and the initially incooperative hotel clerk reviewed the footage. He knew who the people were. He went upstairs because he told me he can only ask them for the phone. I said, that's fine. Now you're going to be taking a statement because now somebody's going to jail. I want my phone back. And either I'd get my phone back or somebody's going to jail because my phone is here. So I don't know what he said, but he pretty much probably conveyed, bro, the phone's here. Hand it over. And it gave back my phone minus my cute purple phone case and my charging block that the phone. Anyway, I did get it back. And that clerk, while the police officer and I were talking as I was waiting for my rideshare to the next one that I ordered to pick me back up, come to find out we're both fellow Marines and we were at the same duty station. So we were shooting the breeze about Kaneohe Bay and this and that and the third. And then here comes the clerk wanting to join in. I'm like, can I help you? No, I don't need you. I don't need you. And he was like, well, you should just be glad you got your phone back and you need to go back inside, because what I would have been glad about is whoever came in that vehicle after I got out would have just gave my phone to the driver. Goodbye. So the police officer said, yeah, you can go ahead and go, because I lit into him. Like, if you don't get out of here with that, like, who wants somebody to steal their stuff? There are places in this world where people would literally just turn your phone back in. This entitlement and debauchery and lack of humanity, no. So anyway, it got me going again. I was hot about that for about a day and a half. So I'm going to show y'all know it's coming. It's my favorite thing. This shirt is not in my shop yet, but because I know people are going on my website, y'all clearly like going on there. So you can make purchases. It's okay.
We have a great product in the shop that we're excited to share with you. Check it out on our site.
And yes, that is my favorite. I will be adding this one soon, y'all. So again, thank you for watching. My name is Angel Chestnut, and we are Angel Chestnut Studio. It is time to sign off, and until next time, ciao for now.